Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to the Mental Dojo with yours truly, Dennis Procopio. I'm a life coach for men. I own Man Up Life Coaching in San Diego, California. I work with dudes here in the United States and internationally, talking about guy stuff, guy problems, things that are on your mind, things that are on your heart. And today we're going to be talking about yet another grueling, uncomfortable, awkward bro topic. So join me inside. I promise it will not disappoint. See you there. All right, we're here in the Mental Dojo with Dennis Procopio, your friend, your life coach buddy, coach for men. Your friend, by now you know who I am. And if you don't, you should go back and watch a couple of the other episodes because this is a pretty somber one. It's somber because I like to come on here and I like to be super nice and friendly and, hey, I'm Dennis. Hey, everything's great. Hey. But man, I'm not going to lie to you. Today was one of those tough ones. Today was a tough one. Not life coaching. I mean, that's all day long. That's all day, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. I coach guys, no problem. But man, I got challenged today because let's just say somebody from my past, quote unquote, popped up. And when these people from your past pop up, it can shake you. It can really kind of rattle you a little bit because you think you have a closed chapter, and then boing, somebody pops up like a jack in the box, and next thing you know, all these old thoughts are kind of freaking haunting you. Now, in this life coaching process, the strategy that we employ when that happens is, I forgot to flip the timer, half hour. The strategy we employ is, and this might sound heavy duty, but I guess we're going to start out heavy duty. The strategy we employ is to say, I'm not responsible for being the person that my past suggests I should be. I have creative license to be anything I want to be in this moment. First of all, it's my job to accept it. And then second of all, it's my job to sell it. It's kind of like fake it till you make it, but it's not really faking it. It's just you're doing something different. If you watch these Mental Dojo episodes, you'll notice, for instance, that I'm always in a black t-shirt. I've got money. I could buy, a whole bunch of, shirts with collars, button-down shirts, colorful shirts. Go to Stitch Fix or whatever and have them design me a new look. It's not really how I roll. It's not really interesting for me. It's what I wear, black t-shirts. But there's nothing saying that I have to do that. That's just a choice that I make. Any choice that you make in your life, if it's a good choice and that's what you're doing, okay, fine. That's what you're doing. My point is, you're not obligated to keep doing what you're doing just because your habit has been to do that. So, in a more practical sense, let's say you've been an alcoholic. There's no reason that in the moment you have to say, I am an alcoholic. And by saying that, continue to be an alcoholic. In my case, I recognized I had a drinking problem, and so I quit drinking. It's been 13 years, going on 14 in April. My secret? I don't drink alcohol anymore. How did I do that? I made a bunch of mistakes, and eventually it occurred to me, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I quit. Same with smoking. The same day I quit drinking, I quit smoking. In New Orleans. Cold turkey. Boom. Done. That's it. So it doesn't matter what it is. You could be a womanizer. Could be a jealous guy. I used to be a really jealous guy. I'm not going to lie. I was a jealous guy. I stopped. And I mean, I just stopped. Part of it is I got together with a woman that is trustworthy, um, and also who isn't jealous. Um, Watch out for overly jealous women, but that's a sidebar. The original thread was if you're a womanizer, if you've been a womanizer, that doesn't mean you have to continue to be a womanizer. If you've been a liar, that doesn't mean you have to continue to be a liar. If you've been reprehensible in some way, that doesn't mean you have to continue that behavior. If you've been a recidivist, somebody who's in and out of jail, that doesn't mean that you have to tell yourself, well, I'm just a person who goes to jail. I'm just living that life. No, yeah, you are living that life. But you have the power to not live that life. You just have to make different choices. That's the whole freaking point of having a coach. Is a coach says, this is the script you've been reading off of. We're going to get rid of that. And this is the new script that we're going to read off. Now it feels funny to read off of a new script. You feel like you're, like I said, fake it till you make it. You feel like you're faking it. So if you're somebody who's used to being very judgmental, oh, you screw this guy, screw that guy, hey, this, yeah, that, boom, bang, bam, boom, boom. It feels very vulnerable to all of a sudden turn over a new leaf and be a little Mr. Halo over the head. I'm just going to be an angel. And you're going to have people that are going to, in your life, which is to say in the movie of your life, you're going to have these characters who come in and out. And some people will give you positive, validation for the obvious lift in spirit or the obvious effort that you're making to, kind of clean it up a little bit. But other people, they're not going to buy it. Interestingly, they're usually the people who have the same fundamental problems that you demonstrate. And they're looking at you like, yeah, I don't buy it. I don't trust this guy. I don't believe this guy. It's just like the girlfriend, right? She's jealous because maybe she doesn't trust herself. Right? She can't trust you because she doesn't trust anybody. Right? It's the same thing. A guy, girl, doesn't matter. Somebody, old, young, doesn't matter. Some hater might look at you and say, yeah, I'm not buying this guy's whole nice thing. What's his angle? Right? Because that's a guy who usually himself might have an angle. Or maybe they want to believe that you're capable of doing it, but they're going to give you a hard time because they want to really see that it's going to work because they themselves want to do it. But they want to see that, you can pass every freaking test before they go, all right, fine, I accept that this guy actually genuinely, the guy changed his spots to stripes or stripes to spots or whatever the shit. This guy changed his MO legitimately. Well, think about it. You could change your body. There are people who have started out as fat babies that were fat right up through high school, fat in their 20s in college, and somewhere in their 30s they go, you know what? I'm tired of being fat. And I'm not body shaming anybody fat. I mean, you're overweight. You know what you are. You didn't get called, hey, medically, unhealthily large person. No, you got called fat. You got called fat ass, lard ass, whatever. It's not nice. That's what happens, right? Somewhere along the way, you decide, I don't like that. I don't like the way that feels. I'm tired of hating myself. I'm tired of hating my body. I'm sick of the body dysmorphia. I want to do something proactive. I want to start eating healthy. I want to start working out. It's hard. It's hard. The hard part isn't the diet. The hard part isn't the exercise. The hard part is knowing that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that it's really far away, and that at the same time, every single day you have to go through this monotonous grind to get there. And you don't feel like you're making any progress, and you feel like you're surrounded by people who are like, oh yeah, you're on a diet, huh? So you don't want this nice big sandwich then, you fat fuck? It's not nice, but it's what happens. So yeah, today I had a little somebody from my past pop up, family member. I'm not going to get into my personal business. It's not really necessary for you guys to know every single detail of Dennis Procopio's personal narrative. That's not what I'm here for. It's not about me. It's about the God in me, so to speak. If you're not religious, it's about the blank in me, and you can put whatever you want in the blank, as long as it's not your ego, as long as it refers to something higher than you, a grand intelligence. Okay. Whatever's running the universe, which clearly isn't you, put that in the blank, right? Point is, it's not about Dennis Procopio. Ultimately, I mean, if you're listening to this, I want it to be about you, right? But I'm telling my story because it's relatable. So, guy pops up from my past, family member, out of nowhere, right in the middle of my day. I'm dealing with clients, and I'm dealing with heavy cases, man. I'm dealing with guys with real problems. And in the 15 minutes that I have before freaking clients, or between clients, I get this, this voicemail from somebody in my family reaching out, like legit reaching out. So what do? I reach out back. We end up having a Zoom call, face to face. In that Zoom call, I get to find out how much bad stuff I've been missing, and my name is not brought up very nicely. I'm not complaining, not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm done with all that. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's not a good feeling. Now, in this business, in this program, I talk a lot about feelings. I'm the first one to say, hey, if you've got a feeling, that is a sensation. You're hot, you're cold, your tummy hurts, you got a headache, you're itchy. These are physical sensations. Something's off in somewhere inside of you, your diaphragm, your knee hurts. These are feelings. The finger represents feelings, okay? Now, running in tandem with that is this other thing that happens, which is an emotion. You emote, okay? I fall down, I'm sad. And I've said this in my other videos. It's the same thing. You have a physical sensation and then you emote because you've been programmed at some point. When I'm happy, I smile and I laugh. When I'm sad, I cry. It's a very sad man. When I'm threatened, I'm angry or scared, which usually leads to defensiveness or anger or whatever. But my point is, you emote an emotion. That's a verb. That's something you do. You, at some point, were programmed to associate this feeling with this emotional reaction. As I say in every single one of these goddamn things, self-mastery is finding a different thing to emote in correlation with that sensation. And so back to the earlier piece, if that's not something that people are used to seeing from you or that you're used to seeing from yourself, it's going to look fake. It's going to feel fake. People are going to challenge you. Like, Dennis, why are you wearing a freaking orange shirt today? You're supposed to wear black shirts. You've always worn black shirts. That's who you are. All right. So this family member pops up. We have an interaction. I get an earful. We say goodbye. In my opinion, I did the right thing. I said some right things, and then I deuced out. And we're going to let sleeping dogs lie. My advice as a coach to another guy would be, don't dwell on that. Leave it alone. Redirect the time that you're spending ruminating on that, feeling bad for yourself because you're not regarded in a positive light by people that would probably like to have a better relationship with. Maybe people are lying about you or exaggerating about you. Whether they realize it or not. Rumor mill. It, the idea is that none of that feels good. You're not supposed to dwell on it. Don't start no shit, there won't be no shit, right? So I didn't reach out to this person reaches out to me. I answer the call. I do diligence. We have a Zoom conversation. I record it so that I have documentation. Like if anybody wants to say anything, I could say, "Hey, here's what happened." File it away. Get out of there, and it dissipates, and it's like it never happened. Come away from that interaction, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm feeling all the feelings. So what we're supposed to do, again, is that we're supposed to redirect. We're supposed to validate. So I did that. I immediately, if you guys know me, I've kind of gotten into this whole rucking thing. Go Ruck is a growing company that was started by, I guess, I don't know if it was a Navy SEAL or a Green Beret, some special ops, guy. I'm pretty sure it's a Navy SEAL. And it's the idea that you put a Molly backpack on your back, and you throw a 20-pound or a 45-pound weight in there or whatever, and then you walk and you shuffle your feet, you put your shoulders over there's technique involved, but basically you walk, and that's what you do. And their whole gig is, it's a cardio thing. It's walking for people who don't like cardio, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I got a client who's a fire paramedic. He got me into the rucking thing, so now I'm a rucker. So I decided after this call that just happened in the middle of my day, after my last client, I pushed it in the back of my mind. I stayed present with my clients. I could feel something was off. So I said, all right, I'm going to go for a walk. So I got a little bursitis in my right knee. So instead of being a hero and doing the 45, I just threw a 20-pound in there. I did a 5-mile ruck, the elevation, because we got canyons here in San Diego. So did some elevation, got some good, got a good pump, got the cardio going, got the breathing going. I'm pretty sure I moved at a good clip. What I expected to be an hour and a half only turned into an hour. So I think I was moving pretty well. And the whole time, man, whatever you want to call it meditation, you want to call it prayer, whatever you want to call it. For all the times I've preached this to my guys, I'm telling you, today I really went into the heart of it. First time in a while I've really been bluesing. I haven't been bluesing in a while, but this got me. And I didn't want to do what I see my guys do, or what I've historically done that I didn't like, and that caused me to sort of correct who I am. I didn't want to react to the emotions. I didn't want to be a quote crybaby. I didn't want to dwell. I didn't want to project. I wanted to find a way to make peace with this. Now, the way we make peace with these things is to just forgive. You quote unquote give it to God. I keep saying quote unquote because I'm not a preacher. I'm not an evangelist. I really don't care what your religion is, what your spiritual direction. I don't want to come off as somebody who's, waxes super religious. Your deal is your own. I don't want to impose my deeper beliefs on you. But I went into that deep, deep place. I guess you would call it centering. I went into a deep, deep place that I personally go to when I'm kind of emotionally checkmated. And I said, I'm not gonna react. I'm not gonna feel sad because, well, I'm not gonna emote sadness. I'm gonna choose not to do that. I'm not gonna emote anger. I'm gonna choose not to do this. Now, as I'm walking, I had caffeine to kind of jack me up a little bit for my day, and it was still in me when I was doing this ruck. And caffeine honestly does get me a little edgy, and I'm more likely to, what are you looking at type of thing, you know. And it's, we've got COVID, and so I'm walking around, and I've got, the backpack on with the weight. I've got headphones. I've got the mask. I'm not wearing the mask outside, but I keep it around my chin. So if somebody, you know, walks on the same sidewalk as me, I pull it up. So if I see somebody walking on the same sidewalk, they don't have a mask. I have a mask. I'm breathing like I'm, training at elevation, and they're just walking along with no mask, and they don't have the consideration to move off the sidewalk. Now I'm a little irritated. But again, I'm like, don't, you know, forgive them. They know not what they do. So I don't want them to feel shamed that I have a mask. Maybe there's one in the car. Maybe they forgot theirs, whatever. Like, I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. So I just go, all right, I'm gonna be the better man here, so to speak. So I go around. I throw them deuces. And that's this thing I do. Like, before I can be a dick, I either throw deuces, I throw the little hang 10 thing, like I'm a freaking surfer. California shit. I do that. Um, or I do praying hands, like I'm, Dennis the Buddhist. And these are, I mean, honestly, I'm coming down. I'm 5'11", 235 pounds. Choo choo coming through. And I'm not saying that I look intimidating, but I don't look like a pushover either. So I don't have to go far out of my way to look like somebody that could be a problem on the sidewalk that you're also walking on. So I don't have to have a, staring contest with them. I just do a little, like, A, and go around. And I can tell that they're like, in one case it's a girl, young girl, and she's with her dog. It's like, yeah. Another case it's a dude, is because I could tell he feels a little sheepish because he's probably thinking I should have the mask. But I'm not throwing shade at that guy or girl or dog who's trying to jump on me and lick me. And I do my 5 miles. Now, first there's canyons, then I go through like a little neighborhood. If you know San Diego at all, I'm starting out in Juniper Canyon, I'm going up Switzer Canyon, then I'm going through up 30th Street, through North Park, and then back through the neighborhood boundary, and that back through South Park, back to my place over where I live, and on top of Canyon. And when there are people, I put the mask on. When they're on, I take it off. I got to constantly tell myself, don't invent stories in your head. Look at this. Look at these people on the sidewalk. They can't just step out of your way. Look at all these people sitting here, eating with no masks on. Like, they don't know there's COVID. Like, this constant judgment, because there's some part of me, man, that's still trying to get that freaking anger and hostility out. It's that emotion is trying to happen. It wants to happen. It's used to happening. It's a habit. And I'm doing this. And I'm saying, peace, grace, forgiveness, peace, forgiveness. We're cool. We're cool. It's good. Let it go. You're good. You're good. You're strong. And I'm grinding, but trying not to grind so hard that I'm walking too fast and I fuck my knee up, because you're not supposed to ruck too heavy or too fast, especially 49 years old. Felt good to move my body. Felt good to sweat. Felt good to get it out. You know, everybody that I interacted with, I either smiled at, or if I had the mask on, I like, made nice eyes at them. I'm not waiting for a response. I'm sending it out and keep it moving. Right. The reason that I entitled this "How to Not Wreck Your Life or Your Bike" is because when you ride a motorcycle, which I do, there's a rule that says that where your head, where you look is where you go. If you're riding a bike and you're supposed to look around the curve that you're on. Out here we have canyons. So you can do a lot of canyon carving. If you look at some of the roads that I ride, they look like a crazy straw. It's just ridiculous. Crazy straw. Remember those? Anyway, it's not a straight line. It's this little twisties like crazy. And these are like anywhere from 15 mile an hour, 20 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour turns. And if you don't pay attention, you can go over the edge of a canyon at 4,000 feet. It's not a joke. People die every year. And I have in fact laid my bike down. I got a nice road tat there to commemorate the time I was so busy messing with my GoPro that I hit a turn at like 50 miles an hour. I had some sort of freaking malfunction with the um, with the gas, because I have one of those, what do you call it? It's like a little cruise control thing. It's like a little cruise control thing, but it's a cheap little piece of plastic that you put on there that basically keeps you accelerated. And it was either that or it was a piece of plastic inside or something. But somehow I was supposed to turn. The bike stayed in full throttle. I was not looking where I was going. I was up here doing this. I'm supposed to be looking over there. I'm doing this. And next thing you know, I'm on the ground. The one time, man, I wasn't wearing my leather. I I wear all the gear all the time. ATGAT. That's the acronym for people who ride. The one time I was wearing a freaking vest, but no arm protection other than just a shirt, ripped right through. Nice big golf ball size hunk of meat comes out of my arm, and you could see right in there. It's nasty, right? I've seen people have a lot worse falls, so I'm not going to sit here and make a big deal out of a hole in my arm. But the moral of the story is that's a good way to wreck your bike, and that's just what I did. Thankfully, I was able to bend the bike back into shape with the help of a friend. He and I rode together back to my mechanic, guy in East LA. Shout out to Mad Max Garage. And my guys, Brian and Jesus, um, took care of me, and the bike got fixed. These are expensive lessons. A bike is one thing. Your life is something else, right? You can wreck your bike. You can wreck your life. You don't need a bike to wreck your life. All you have to do is just exactly what the metaphor suggests. If you're where you look is where you'll go. The whole time I'm walking, if I'm ruminating on this thing, that's where I'm looking. And that's where I'm going to go, and that's what I'm going to see. It feels so counterintuitive. It feels so unnatural to throw love at this. It doesn't feel right. To let it go, say, I trust God or Allah or Buddha or the universe, or, pick your favorite Hindu deity. It doesn't matter. You know, I trust the highest of the high to manage this affair. And I'm not going to look in that direction because that's going to head me off a cliff. Instead, I'm going to look in the direction of peace. I'm going to look in the direction of forgiveness. I'm going to look in the direction of love. I'm going to send validation toward myself and remind myself you're strong, you're a badass. So, of course, the knee bursitis starts kicking up. I powered through it, and he's fine right now. But for a minute, didn't feel good. And that's with 5mm Ray-Ban compression sleeve on it. That's not my sponsor, by the way. My doctor client told me that's what I should wear, and I wear it, right? I focused in to the best place possible. And I avoided looking in a direction that could potentially derail me. This is probably one of the soberest versions of the mental dojo you're going to hear from me, because this is close to heart. And if you're one of my guys and you see me every day or once a week or whatever, I'm sure you can feel me right now, because like I said, I never show emotional weakness, man, but woo, this one got me. This one got me. So the idea is supposed to be encouraging for you. Where you look is where you'll go. Don't look at the yucky stuff. Don't look at the darkness. Look at the positive. Look at the light. Don't start any. If your ghosts start popping up, respond to them. Don't react, but respond to them. But don't reach out. And kind of ABC, right? Always be closing. Don't entertain it any more than you have to. Those feelings that you have, deal with it like a stomach ache or like a sore knee. And those emotions that you feel coming up, recognize that those are not out of your control. You can control those. Decide if that's really the best emotion for the situation. And if it isn't, fucking change it. I'm telling you, it'll save your life. All right, bam, my little sand timer says that's 30 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up. I hope this was useful. The Mental Dojo, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Well, guys, thanks for stopping by. It's time to shut down the Mental Dojo, throw the chains on the doors, lock the padlock, and get the hell out of here. But before I do that, would you do me a favor and hit like? I would appreciate that. And also, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, if you're feeling what I'm doing here, if you're smelling what I'm stepping in, go ahead and hit subscribe so that we can do this again, because the man cave just isn't the same when you're not here, man. And I mean that. Thanks for coming by. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.